the damage coming in here on towards MadLife. Oh, what a move! Pulls him in there, he's exhausted. The heel comes up and Lee's hit comes in from the side. First one.
This isn't luck, this isn't spam, this is something else entirely. This is what happens when a support player sees the map like it's code, when timing, mechanics, and mind reading converge into one flick of the wrist. This was the moment League of Legends met its first defensive god. Not a carry, not a top lane monster, but a man with a lantern and a hook. They called him MadLife, and after this day, no support would ever be judged the same.
Still landing the attacks, the Q from Lee Sin doesn't land, they turn around on towards Diamond, there's the hook, another hook from MadLife, and where is the finisher gonna come? No, not quite! One last auto attack needed, insane start!
But where did he come from? Why did Riot nerf him, and how is his name still echoing in every Thresh montage today? This is the story of the Thresh god who haunted League of Legends. Before the hooks, before the lanterns, before he was known as the god of support, he was just a quiet kid in South Korea sitting in a dimly lit PC bang, clicking away at StarCraft. Like many of Korea's esports legends, Hong Min-ji didn't start in League. He grew up in the era of Brood War, where strategy, mechanics, and speed weren't just skills. They were crucial to survival. Every second mattered, every click was war, and somewhere in that chaos, MadLife was learning the first rule of greatness. If you can see 2 moves ahead, you're already too late. When League of Legends hit Korean servers, MadLife switched games. He didn't pick up a flashy mid laner, he didn't spam carries, he locked in support. Not because it was popular, it wasn't. Not because it got praise, it didn't. But because he saw something in the role nobody else did. Control, tempo, vision, a chance to win the game without being the star.
And there's the dazzle on Wound. Captain Jack coming up. There's the rocket grab. Captain Jack tries to net away, but MadLife in hot pursuit. Captain Jack taking a lot of damage, but he does escape.
By the time Make Frost held tryouts in 2011, MadLife was already known in solo queue for one thing. He plays like the enemy is on a script. And they weren't wrong. When he joined the team that would later become CJ Entus, MadLife didn't just fill the role of a support, he redefined it. Back then, support was a ward bot. You dropped vision, you stayed behind your ADC, and you died quietly. But MadLife? He roamed, he called the shots, he set plays. He turned level 2 hooks into 5-minute snowballs.
It's an intricate dance. Oh, he gets the rocket flip! Whoa, MadLife! Oh, there's the day!
In a world full of passive supports, MadLife was a one-man offensive coordinator, and the league wasn't ready. By the end of Season 2, he wasn't just a support player, he was the support player. Frost made it to the finals of Worlds 2012, and even though they lost to Taipei Assassins, MadLife had arrived. The world didn't know it yet, but the future of support had just been born, and it would come with chains, hooks, and a death sentence.
Oh, the bandage must barely be so the flash does it! It's MadLife! Shen coming in as well! How in the world do you get to be that good?
If you've ever landed a blind hook across a wall and whispered, MadLife angle, under your breath, you already know. MadLife didn't throw hooks, he launched inevitabilities. He didn't just outplay opponents, he outthought them, predicted them, trapped them in their own habits, and then punished them for it. At first glance, it looked like magic, but if you slow it down, frame by frame, you'll see it's anything but. MadLife mastered 3 things: hitbox geometry, animation cancels, and psychological warfare.
Wouldn't be hiding like that. If he had, he could be a little bit dangerous here. Here comes the paranoia onto Wound. Wound not getting away from this one. MadLife trying to escape. Now there's the exhaust. He will not escape. Maybe he will. Oh, there's the grab on him. Here comes Cloud Templar. Oh, man.
2-1 towers.
Let's start with hitboxes. In League, most skill shots don't match their visual indicators. Thresh's hook, for instance, has a slightly wider hitbox than it appears. Most players use this by accident. MadLife used it by design, curving hooks around minions, slipping them through pixel-thin windows. Then, there were animation cancels, tiny frame skips most people never notice. MadLife would buffer Flash mid-animation, tricking players into dodging early, only to hit them after they thought they were safe.
There's a flash grab. Oh, and they got Kane, and Kane just instant beautiful play.
And finally, the mind games. If you understand MadLife's game pretty well, you'll know he doesn't chase movement, he chases patterns. For those who don't understand his game, just watch enough solo queue and you'll start seeing it too. MadLife didn't react, he pre-acted. He studied player psychology the way chess grandmasters study openings. He knew when you were going to juke left before you did. He knew where you'd walk after you missed a CS. He read hesitation, baited confidence, and timed your panic. But Thresh wasn't just about hooks, it was the lanterns. MadLife's lantern saves looked like divine intervention. He tossed one mid-fight, perfectly timed, not when his ADC screamed for help, but a second before they needed it. It was like he knew how much damage was left on the table, how fast the enemy autos were, what spells were coming off cooldown. If you've got MadLife on your team, you never need to ask for the lantern. It was always already on the way. No flashy mechanics, no ego, just cold, clinical support perfection. And all of it, every sidestep, every flash hook, every split-second save was built on one truth. MadLife didn't trust the game, he trusted math. He didn't just play Thresh, he engineered him.
Number 2, flash crescendo. Oh, beautiful catch, just remember. Great record to set up a good team fight. And it looks like T1 is just gonna melt.
There's a saying in League, if Riot nerfs your champ, you were doing something right. MadLife, he got nerfed without even opening his mouth. It started quietly in a little patch called 3.15. No drama, no Reddit threads, just a few words buried in the patch notes. We're talking slight reduction to the hitbox width, an adjustment to the spectral lantern visual feedback, and other minor bug fixes. It's nothing crazy, just tuning, just quality of life. But in practice, it made all the difference. Do you know the difference between glory and failure? About a quarter inch. MadLife's entire playstyle was built on the edges, the margins that nobody else dared to touch. So when Riot shifted the hitbox, even slightly, it clipped his wings. The blind hooks? Now harder. The tight angle grabs over terrain? Less forgiving. The pixel perfect peels in team fights? Now way more risky. And that was just the start. As MadLife's hooks grew more infamous, Riot started quietly pushing back against engaging supports in general. More ranged ADCs were deployed, more disengaged tools were added, even meta started tilting toward enchanters and scaling. But the worst move of all, the visual clarity of Thresh's lantern got cleaned up, which in Riot terms meant harder to see in chaos.
Just surfing. Oh, Nove gets taken down. MadLife with the kill, and actually Goon very low as well. Safe, trying to come in and live up to his namesake, but it's not working quite yet. Cloud Templar harassing the backlines. A double kill from MadLife already. Zephyr dies to the Ignite, and Shy taking the turret, gets out. Goodbye save. It will be a perfect ace for CJ Frost.
Despite all the changes, the skill expression didn't go away. It just got blurrier. The updates were not enough to stop him. MadLife was still MadLife, and this time, he picked up Blitzcrank, Leona, even Karma. If Riot changed the rules, he'd just play a different game. But the magic? It was different now. No more hooks from the fog of war that sparked Reddit threads. No more 6-minute montages of impossible lanterns and air dodge skill shots. Thresh was still good, MadLife was still brilliant, but Riot had done what nobody else could. They made MadLife mortal.
Gorilla on his own, and MadLife with a great crescendo over the wall. Goong not caught up, but held up enough. Zephyr with the exhaust on him. He's not going to escape Rapid Star. Goodbye, double kill for the mid laner and save.
While the West was still figuring out how to spell Thresh, MadLife was already turning Korean pro play into his personal highlight reel. In the days before the LCK, before flashy stage lights and sleek production, there was OGN Champions. It wasn't just a tournament, it was the proving ground. And MadLife? He didn't just prove himself, he made the rest of the league look like extras in his montage. It was his world, everyone else was just living in it.
Indeed, it's going to be a flash banana. It's not going to be enough, but Crepo's going to get taken down by MadLife. MadLife turns around. Now he's going to try and take on Yellow Pete. A 2v1 from MadLife.
MadLife didn't need level 6, he didn't need vision. All he needed was one window, one misstep, one read. The moment you thought you were safe was exactly when you weren't. CJ Entus Frost became synonymous with MadLife initiations. He wasn't just engaging in fights, he was detonating them. When he roamed, the map trembled. When he vanished into the fog, carries panicked. Teams would burn flashes just because MadLife left the lane.
Gets hooked in now. Is it going to be one more shot? Will do it. The lash comes out. Edward's going to take a tower hit though. Getcha can't quite get on towards it. MadLife picks up the kill on Edward.
By the time Frost reached the OGN semifinals, MadLife was more than a player. He was a cinematic event. And the footage speaks for itself. Blitzcrank hooks from max range, mid-turn animation. Thresh flees mid-dash to cancel escapes. Lantern baits that felt illegal for the era. Even for LOL fanatics, his moves feel so complicated. Many couldn't comprehend it. But to MadLife, it was second nature. While other supports were waiting for team calls, MadLife was already 3 plays ahead. He'd throw a hook before the ADC misstepped. He'd cast a lantern before his teammate panicked. The word MadLife slowly became a verb. You didn't land a good hook, you MadLifed it. And the pressure didn't get to him. It energized him. He once said in an interview that he didn't fear high-stakes games, he just needed the adrenaline to focus. In those OGN matches, with thousands watching, everything slowed down.
Here we go. Frost, look at that. He misses. MadLife misses. So what does he do? There's the mage chains for the stun.
What?
There's the flash. He pulls into the lantern, play straight into the box, and the ace in the hole from the side.
That's the thing about playing like MadLife. You don't wait for the moment, you create it.
Coming in and MadLife play not going to go in the hook as he comes up from the pool. Dark binding onto Ambition, but the damage still following through from Coco.
Every legend has a peak, but what they don't tell you is what happens when the peak is behind you and the game moves on without waiting, because it surely does. By 2014, the golden age of CJ Entus was starting to flicker. New talent was rising, the meta was shifting, and suddenly, the same hooks that once broke games, they weren't enough to win them anymore. MadLife was still MadLife, but something had changed. CJ's drafts got slower, their team fighting got clunkier, the league was evolving. Support picks moved from Engage to Enchanters, Janna, Lulu, Karma, Protect, Peel, Survive.
Three-man hit right there, and there's MadLife.
Oh, wow! What a play by MadLife!
For a player whose whole game was anticipation, aggression, and initiative, playing safe wasn't just a style change. It was like asking a violinist to play with mittens. By 2015, CJ Entus wasn't the team it used to be, and MadLife, he found himself on the bench. Rumors started swirling that he was preparing for mandatory military service, that he had lost motivation, that he was too old for the new game. Then, a curveball came out of nowhere. MadLife joined Goldcoin United in the NA Challenger Series in 2016. But it didn't work out, at least not as much as he'd initially expected. Visa delays, language barriers, roster instability, these are just a few of the challenges he faced. MadLife quickly realized that Goldcoin United wasn't just a different team, it was a different world. He barely played, and when he did, he looked disconnected. The reads were there, but the confidence wasn't. The tempo was off, the synergy was nowhere to be found. There was no roar when he locked in Thresh, no panic when he left the lane, just silence and shadows.
They're going for the second dragon of the game, will be there first. The teleport is being channeled from behind Goldcoin United. The dragons drop down extremely low, but Licorice is in the fray already, and it looks like it goes over to the side of United as Zazel picks that one up, and now they're collapsing on the Goldcoin. MadLife goes down.
After years of defining highlight reels, MadLife was now watching from the sidelines, a ghost in a game he once ruled. And by 2018, he retired. No farewell tour, no dramatic press conference, just a quiet message to fans and a lane left empty. For most players, that's where the story ends, but for MadLife, it was only halftime.
Nah, that's Guinness crap.
Yeah. Oh, Chaser gets grabbed. There we go. The burst Cataclysm used, but MadLife just gets right.
MadLife didn't disappear after everything he's been through. He just changed lanes. After retirement in 2018, he didn't vanish from the game like some thought he would. Instead, he took his game knowledge and brought it straight to Twitch. No flashy titles, no drama, just a calm voice, a slow stream layout, and Thresh waiting in Champ Select. But the viewers? They still came. Even though he knew he had made a name for himself in the gaming community, MadLife didn't envision so many people watching him do his own thing. But what he didn't realize was, while the hands may have slowed, the brain had only gotten sharper. And experience, they say, is priceless. He started breaking down support like a surgeon, not just where to place wards, but when, why, and how they manipulate vision tempo. It was during this new venture that he coined a new term, predictive control warding. If you're wondering what that means, the idea is basically saying don't ward reactively, only ward where the enemy will path before they even know it.
Oh, Insec, you're not going to escape. There's a passive going down. Who can they kill his pieces? Is he going to get back there? The ult on the Cloud Templar. Oh, MadLife with a huge headbutt pulverized. They do take out Insec. They're coming in now. Cloud Templar taking a turret hit, getting very low. There's a nice slide away, been a good shockwave on top of it all. Space with a double kill already. Scored, claims a victory.
It didn't take long for young Korean support mains to start watching religiously. Pro players called him the teacher. Fans clipped his coaching tips like gospel. At that point, MadLife wasn't chasing fame anymore. He was building a legacy, one hook lesson at a time. Every day, another VOD, another explainer on hook timings, another reminder that your flash doesn't make you safe if he knows your habits. He even guest commentated Korean matches, and when rookie supports landed insane hooks on LCK broadcasts, they all screamed, "That's a MadLife angle!"
Kind of has a run of the map. Nice hook onto Sasson, going in with that play. And
That was a blind
get out. MadLife deservingly gets the killing blow there.
He never chased numbers, never farmed clout, but his stream quietly pulled thousands. His coaching Discord filled with players chasing that 1% decision making. He wasn't the best player on the map anymore, but he made sure someone else could be.
Rosen on the run. There's the flash. Through the wall. MadLife is back. I don't care what anyone says.
You can uninstall League, you can patch out champions, you can even nerf hitboxes and rework hits. But the one thing you can't do is that you can't erase MadLife. His Thresh hooks in pro play will forever remain iconic. His name pops up regularly on Reddit threads, Twitch chats, and even LPL casters. You'd hear his real fans tell you, MadLife would have predicted that. 10 years after his prime, he's still the reference point. Not just a Grey supporter, he is the blueprint. Anytime a hook lands from the fog of war, anytime a lantern saves a teammate with 0 HP, that's not a coincidence, that's residue. He left more than a legacy, he left echoes. Even though he wasn't king for long, he conquered the world and made sure he'd never be forgotten. Support players who've never seen him play still learn his moves. Every highlight montage on YouTube, still using clips of his Thresh. Coaches still teach MadLife spacing. Some call it overhype, others called it nostalgia, but those who know, they know he was the real deal.
And the flat four from Snowflower after they tried his zone space out with the boomerang lane, he is going to get the stun, and there's Start Binding, and Tormentor Soil, but Space goes in with the zap, and they play him back into the...
He doesn't matter the era, the Ghost remains the same, and that's the point. MadLife didn't build his legacy on stats. He wasn't the loudest, or the flashiest, or the one with the highest KDA. But when he played, you felt it. You felt the tension when he vanished from the map. You felt the panic when the hook started winding up. You felt the calm when the lantern was already there, waiting to save you. He didn't haunt the game with fear, he haunted it with standards. And every hook support since has been trying to live up to it. In a game obsessed with damage charts, flex picks, and meta shifts, MadLife reminded us that some champions don't need to carry to control. That a hook can change everything. He didn't need a pentakill, he didn't need MVP votes. All he needed was one moment. One hook, and suddenly everyone remembered why he was different. Thresh has had 1,000 players, 1,000,000 games, 1,000,000,000 hooks, but somehow they still call it a MadLife hook. The popular saying that legends don't retire, they echo, is the perfect reflection of MadLife's legacy. He was indeed the Thresh god who haunted League of Legends. But we're not done yet. Who should we haunt next? Let me know in the comments who to cover next. If you made it this far, you should click this other video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching Admiral Ace, and until next time, keep acing, gamers.